live.
Yeah, this is my first time going live. I've never done anything like this.
Well, we are live with Matt Smith of you're of a lot of things. Of the of different spokes. Is there more?
Uh, I have a little side dumb thing called NASCAR, but it's not really anything.
Okay, so of NASCAR. Uh,
Yeah.
nice. So I wanted to talk tonight because I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know you were the guy behind the when you asked me to do the different spokes thing. I'm gonna be totally honest here. And I've seen that stuff all over Ray's because it's stocked at Ray's, and all the kids have the bar pads. All the kids got the stem pads.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, it's cool. And then to come to find out, we've already had conversations and gone back and forth with things. I'm like, dude, I need to get him on here so we can just talk about this stuff. So I want to start with what the is in its current state.
Yeah, it's like it's a it's a side project, of bicycle accoutrements. I'm very particular about my bike, and when I wanted bar pads and I couldn't find any that were exactly what I wanted, so I started trying making them and just kind of snowballed from there.
So it all started with the bar pad, but you
Yeah.
do more than just bar pads right now, right?
Yeah, top two pads, stem pads, t-shirts, wax, um, stickers, all kinds of stuff. Paraphernalia.
That it's cool, and I've heard Andrew from Grindworks talk about you before,
Hmm.
and I just wanted to get on here and kind of just promote some things. So it started with you just simply wanting, like, you had a need and you couldn't fill your need, so you did it yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Like originally just tried to make an OG pad set, and when I got to the stem part, I knew I could sew a crossbar pad. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
But the stem pad, I was like looking at how the traditional one was made, and I was like, something just doesn't add up. Like, it's gonna be back then, especially my sewing skills were very low, so the way I saw the traditional stem pad being put together, it seemed hard and kind of not quite that great.
Yeah.
Everybody ends up throwing them around their down tube and top tube a lot of the time.
Yeah, they don't actually last as a stem pad.
Yeah, and so I just kind of made this little foam pad with some straps on it, and it just kind of goes on the back of your stem like a book bag, and you're good to go.
Well, do you have one right there?
Yeah, actually.
We could just show it visually.
We should. Absolutely. Is it okay that I'm drinking a beer? I don't know if it matters.
I literally could not care less.
Okay. I'm going to have to repackage this up.
Oh,
because
sacrificed it.
Yeah, a little unboxing, if you will.
Ooh.
So it comes with a couple.
So you're thinking
here.
through it. You're thinking through it pretty well there.
Yeah. So it's got a Velcro strap to go around like that.
Sick. And the ones that I've seen people have at Ray's, they are what they're supposed to be. They don't end up around like what you were saying. And
yeah, you could if you really wanted to, but yeah, it's. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't feel like people really want to do it that way. I think they want a stem pad.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
everybody could use it.
I didn't realize that you made them yourself. That was going to be one of my questions.
Oh, yeah.
So did you start with sewing skills at all, or did you completely have to start from zero to make it the first one?
Well, my mom is a seamstress.
Oh.
So she used to work at a store where people would come in, pick up a pair of store brand pants,
Mm-hmm.
and then she would tailor them to them.
Yeah.
just make adjustments that way, alterations and shit. So I just grew up watching her do that shit. And originally with the like t-shirts, when we were first making our first video, like the first product was a t-shirt. So I enlisted my mom's help to try and figure out how to do a label, like sew a label on.
Oh yeah.
So she taught me that, and I knew how to do that a little bit, and I would use her machine from time to time. And then one day I found a sewing machine in the trash. Like,
No way.
serendipitous is all I get out.
Yeah, right.
Leanne, my wife now, but when her and I were first started dating, we went for a walk, just like random, like let's just go walk, which is like very rare,
Yeah.
And it was right after our rain, but there was this nice looking sewing machine just out, like it's out for trash, and it's bone dry. She's like, "Oh shit, you should pick that up," because usually I'm like, anything that's laying out on the side of the road, I'm like, "Oh, free stuff," no matter what it is. Like,
Right.
always trying to scavenge. But I saw it and I wasn't gonna pick it up because I thought for sure it was waterlogged, and I said, "All right, we'll give it a shot, but I don't think it'll work." And sure enough, it did. So then I had something. I already knew how to sew the labels on, but once I had a machine, I was free to kind of like start learning a lot more.
Right. That sounds like some meant to be type stuff right there. Serendipity. I'm heavy into things being serendipitous because it's crazy how things happen sometimes, and that is, one of the most wild ones you ever heard.
Yeah, it fell right on my lap in a way.
The only way that could be crazier is if you were uh, like a member of like the Gucci family right now telling that story. Like you're the founder of Gucci and you found the reason it started is because you found a sewing machine.
Right. Yeah.
That's sweet though. So I actually was thinking about how the whole sewing a tag like that on like you're talking about like the bottom of your shirt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking about I'm wondering how that even works the other day. So it's funny that to hear you talking about how like that's kind of where your sewing skills and is there a proper term for this, like name of a person who makes these things? Like,
Seamstress.
is that it? What you like?
I wanted to put in my Twitter bio Seamster as like my pronoun, but I don't know if anyone would ever get it. So
That's
yeah,
funny.
I'm a Mr. Seamstress.
Well, I think because it's spelled differently, maybe they would get it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, that seems kind of complicated. And then to look at all of the things that you make, and now knowing that you made every one that I've seen is like, damn, like they're really good. They're like professionally looking.
Thanks, man. It didn't start that way, and I have all of my early customers to thank for, supporting and helping me grow, because it was like the more you do it, the straighter and crisper you'll get. So
Yeah. Well, how did it start for you? Was it like, oh, I'm going to make one set and maybe I'll make more? Or was it like, I'm going to make this one set for me and I'm done after that?
I just wanted a bar pad at first. I just liked the novelty of it. And somebody was like, "Oh, you should make a whole set," and I was like, "Man, I don't really want to make a stem pad because that's going to be hard. Like, a crossbar pad's easy." And then I really tried to figure it out, and it was because of Shiloh and Ishan, two homies from southeastern Pennsylvania. They're like part of the Yeah Crew. They I would give them stuff if I'm like, "Hey, this is a stem pad. You don't have to ride it, but if you want to do some R&D and help me, try and get through it, figure out what we got to do to kind of like make it better, because at first the padding wasn't strong enough. At first the fabric wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you were making them. Did you have it in mind that you were gonna make them to start selling them at that point, or was that just for you?
Yeah, for me that's kind of like a weird gray area because for my idea to well, here's the thing. Dude, it gets weirder. So
Ooh.
the only fabric I had found that I liked to use for these at first was like a very very like stiff duck canvas that was these camo jackets that I got at the thrift store. They were like on mega clearance. It was like $3 for like a triple XL,
Mm.
like a quad XL. You know what I mean? Like really wild stuff that no one's ever gonna buy. But for me, I'm looking at that as like that's one big yard of fabric I can use to cut up.
Yeah.
So I got that shit dumb cheap and used that to. That's how I started making them. So I had a big kit of fabric to start with. So it was like, once we get this idea figured out, maybe we should sell them if it's gonna be, if it works, why not, right? Like,
Yeah.
so.
And now, I mean, things have definitely grown, at least from what I can see and what you're doing. Like a lot of people have them and like them.
Oh hell yeah! I think I'm so happy. I'm so excited to see. I don't get to be everywhere. So hearing about other people seeing them it's just so awesome.
Yeah.
And it's definitely started to take off. I started making the pads in 2018, but I'd say the big pop was probably around COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I was also still figuring out my fabrics. That's the thing. It's like I was doing so much R&D through it. It was such a painful process. But now I'm finally getting into a swing of things where I got what I like, and I'm starting to play around with colors more because sewing black all day and sewing camo all day can get kind of boring.
Oh, I could see that. I mean, that makes it tedious, right?
Oh yeah, I fucking hate sewing, to be completely honest.
Man, you picked the wrong side project.
I know, and that's the thing. It's like if you can, it's like a bike riding thing. Like if you can connect the dots, and all it's gonna take is this much effort. It's like, well, I already know a little bit about sewing, and I did find the sewing machine in the trash, and they come out good now.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, I think yeah. So I don't know when to bring it up, but ever since I kind of figured it out and knew that I could get what I needed, and I invested in more stuff and to expand, and I bought a bunch of colors like 2 years ago, and I haven't moved on it yet, just because I wasn't sure how to roll it out, because I was kind of doing like a theme every month, or not every month, but it was like season, quarterly, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I can get around to it, because
Yeah.
honestly, it's a hobby job. And do drops. And right now I'm looking to drop a bunch of colors, and it's like I could do these every month, drop a new color, but it's like they're just colors.
Yeah.
So I'm dropping them all at once. So it's like if you're not gonna like buy the red and then you see the dark red come out and you're like, oh fuck, that's what I really wanted.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Well, let's see them. I know you told me that you had them there and you were gonna like be able to show stuff. You don't have to open them if they're not if they're already packaged.
no, these are just bagged up. I just bagged them up today, just so I don't mess them up at all. You can see the colors in the background actually.
I wondered about that. Yeah. Here, I'll move a little bit. You got your blue, your green, your dark blue, your red, your orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see whatever you want to show, and I think people would be psyched to see.
It's gonna basically it's gonna be 20 colors.
Damn.
Yeah, I went ham on purpose because it's not hard for me to have these colors.
Yeah.
I mean, it might get annoying down the road. We'll see. But this one to me it looks like baby blue.
Yeah.
We're gonna refer to it as periwinkle.
All right. I mean, I could see
Because-
periwinkle too.
Like it took me all day to get it through my head what was teal, what was aqua.
That's
You know what I
funny.
mean?
I know their pain.
So I'll show you this.
Okay.
I mean, I got the whole rainbow is basically what it comes down to. But
Nice.
something to bring up here is, so before I did colors, I just did yellow because I kind of use yellow as like the brand color.
Right. I've seen
And
that.
it was like this bright kind of bold yellow.
Yeah.
But then once I came across this, I was like, this is actually the yellow I want to be, the yellow.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit more muted, a little bit more pencil color, which is kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, that's all.
I like how anytime someone says, yeah, they're talking about your brand. That's good branding.
Some people tell me it's really dumb, and sometimes I feel it's really dumb, but I don't mind.
Well, you know what? Some people are really dumb.
I kind of wanted to rebrand it into like a different word or a different name or something, but it's just too short and easy.
Dude, that green almost looks like the exact green of my frame. The billiard.
Oh, yeah. Actually, this is a Kelly green.
Okay. Are you familiar with The Scene's Not Dead?
Yeah, a little bit. That's the guy that you had those videos with, right?
Yeah, he said, yeah, yellow. Love that.
Yeah, man. I did study a bunch of branding in school, so I kind of have like this weird. I have a book actually. I could bust it out for you. It's called Obsessive Compulsive Branding Disorder.
What's that
So it's
about?
like, every time you have an idea, you like follow it down the rabbit hole of being a complete fucking company. Which
Oh my god, that sounds insane.
yeah, it's like you can't. So
There's people like that, I'm sure. Are you that like that?
I think so a little bit. I'm trying to reel it in.
Yeah. Try and focus a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's sweet though. I'm enjoying seeing that. Do you have any thoughts or plans for like expanding beyond bar pads and stem pads to any other types of things?
Not really.
That's cool. It's cool you know what you want.
So, if I could, I don't want to overstep my boundaries. And honestly, what I would love to do is to be able to collaborate with riders and companies.
Yeah.
And if like rider XYZ wants to do a stem butt, like that's the other thing is, before the market was all, you had to buy a kit.
Mm-hmm.
You had to. So what I try and do is I'm selling these things individually because I'm on the page of not everyone's a full pad person. Some people just like stem pads. Some people just like one or the other.
Yeah.
So like if Rider XYZ wants just a cool looking stem buddy, maybe we can work that out, with his brand and with his companies, with his sponsors, his frame companies, it's going to come out as complete bike. That's cool. That's,
Dude,
it's down the road stuff, but
I could see a company like S&M having a Hucker pad set that like would be, you know what I mean? Like that. Am I picturing what you're saying?
the possibilities are endless.
That would be amazing, and I'm sure that there's companies out there and riders who would want to have something like that. And with how DIY BMX is and how stoked people are on small like side project stuff like what you're doing, I could very easily see that happening.
Thanks, man. But the other problem is like I don't really like sewing.
we heard.
At the end of the day, I still don't like sewing. But if I'm gonna do a cool concept like for this one,
Who's that? Is that for somebody?
no, these are available individually, but later this week it's gonna be stuck as a kit because they didn't move yet, and I'm redoing the whole site.
Oh man. So those exact ones, and there's only one of each?
Only one of each because these things suck to make, but I really wanted to see this idea so I just had to make it. You know, it's kind of like drawing,
Yeah.
but with fabric and foam.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's art.
Yeah, a little bit. And well, I to me, like, it's also the value you get out of it. Sure, like if you just want something to pad your knee from hitting your shit, you get a plain black joint and be
Mm-hmm.
out. But I mean, I do want to expand to like other bikes, which I have done, and I've done a lot, but it's not very obvious that you can do that. I got to figure out how to add that to the site, like dirt bikes, road
Oh,
bikes.
okay.
If you have tubes, we have pads. That's kind of what I want to push a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Dirt bikes. I could see all that stuff. Like the
Lawnmowers, anything with a crossbar will make.
you need a picture on the site of a push mower with a crossbar on it. Or
I have the very first top tube pads I made were like sandwich like fabric with foam sandwiched inside, and I
yeah,
have it on my lawn chair now. I keep the V1.
that's so rad. I was gonna tell you, growing up, one of the guys that I rode with and like really, really looked up to, he uh, he had one of those big cheese, I think it was,
Yeah.
frame pad with all the spikes sticking out of it on his bike.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, I could probably find a picture somewhere. You know what I'm talking about.
Dude, that was early inspiration for me as well. I remember seeing them at the bike shop. They had the spiky ones. They had the ones that had like black bubble, like squid looking style.
Yeah.
And the trail dudes back then, they rocked them. Shop.
He's a trail dude. I'm trying to see. Um, Noah, the scene's not dead, just made me realize that what you just said about if it has tubes, we have pads, also could apply to a company like Stay Free. Stay
Which
Free
state?
mini pads
Which
for
state?
women.
Oh, you know,
If it has tubes, we have pads.
I actually have a doodle. Dude. I have to bust it out for you. I drew it like a health class where it's like an ovum vagina with like fallopian tubes,
Yeah.
and I drew pads, like crossbar pads on the
Oh,
fallopian
oh
tubes.
my god, that's funny. The pictures I have of this dude's bike are too far away to be able to see it, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I did also want to ask you too, we're talking about this, how long does it actually take you to make each individual thing?
It's about 15 minutes a pad, so it takes me about 45 minutes a set.
That's it?
What do you mean?
I don't know, I looked at that and I was like, man, that looks like it'd take like an hour to make each one.
Oh, these motherfuckers suck to make and took probably 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Okay. Wow. That's cool.
This one, very particularly. So, see, the problem is like there's quality being lost on people that, I mean, I keep forgetting that we're live, and so I might speak and say something real stupid, but
That's okay.
basically the quality of what I can do versus the quality of what people are used to or what people expect,
Mm-hmm.
because a bar pad can be $10, but if you're going to pay twice as much for mine, but mine are going to be to an exact spec,
Yeah.
you know, like I have you ever heard of a Birkin bag?
No. What's that?
It's a handbag that costs like 5 figures that girls will buy.
What?
So it's a style of bag by a fashion label called Hermes.
I've heard that name.
So I want pads to basically be the Birkin bags of BMX because you're getting the highest quality fit for your bike. You know, you're buying a garment for your bike. You're buying
Yeah.
bike armor.
Right. I'm just scrolling through the site right now to show what you've got going on there. That pencil set is freaking sick.
Thanks, man.
I see it's already sold out.
Yeah, some dude from Australia bought it.
What?
Yeah.
How wild.
Yeah, I didn't get a photo of it on his bike yet or anything like that.
Hopefully you do.
Yeah, I love seeing it. That's probably my favorite part is because I can only model so many colors on
Mm,
my bike, you know?
right.
Like sometimes I picture in my head, man, an all chrome bike with like these white pads would be sick. Like just thinking of colors that would be cool.
Right. Yeah. Uh, what's or who or what is the craziest thing that has come through the like per order list?
Hmm.
Like totally wouldn't have expected it, or
Yo,
just something
when
cool.
when I first started out, a dude hit me up for a top tube pad for a Sabrosa that had the split top tube
Yeah.
and it tapered.
Mm-hmm.
So I made one big round pad, but it had, like a cone shape.
Yeah.
That one was probably the craziest of them all.
That I feel like that would be really hard to make.
Yeah, I had to basically I kind of had an idea of how much I measure versus how much after it's all said sewn, like where the give is.
Mm-hmm.
So I had him do some measurements for me, and I was like, "All right, here you go. I hope it fits. Fingers crossed." And he sent me a picture of it on, and it was all nice and like tight. I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah!"
That's awesome. That's like all you could ask for right there.
I mean, when you're shooting in the dark like that, you gotta be ready, willing, and able to be like, "All right, if that's not right, I will make you a new one."
Right.
And so, when you see these fashion labels put the word couture on their thing, what couture actually means is when something is actually altered to that specific person.
Oh. What comes to mind, and I don't even know what it actually means, is juicy couture.
Yeah,
I don't know what
yeah.
that means, but that's what comes to my mind when I hear that word.
Sweatpants with the print on the back.
Oh, okay. I don't. I literally didn't even know what it meant. I just know the words.
Yeah.
That's funny. Wow. Damn it! There was something else I was just about to say, and I can't remember anymore. Um, so you do more than just the but like, how long have you been doing this? When did you make the first set?
2017, I think.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's around the time I found the trash, or found the sewing machine in the trash. Started fucking around with these cheap fabrics, and then once I couldn't find those fabrics anymore, I had to figure out how to get better fabric. And then the most annoying part is cutting it all up. That sucks the most.
I can imagine. I mean, I do, just doing some stickers, like vinyl cut stickers, the weeding process on that, and that's not even precise. Like, cutting fabric has to be to make it exactly right.
Yeah, that was a lesson that I learned the hard way because I used to use a Sharpie and draw on my fabric and just cut. And I was realizing that thickness of that line is like the make or break.
Mm.
Like I don't want your bar pad to be bouncing around like like crazy all over your handlebars. I don't want your top tube pad doing the same. I want it to be like a nice snug fit. And not every frame's the same, so you gotta have to have like a little bit of a window there.
Yeah, a little bit of variance. Oh man, Noah asked the top 5 pad sets in history.
The big cheese one's got to be at least top one of the top 5, at least 2.
Frame pad. I don't know how to. I'm gonna try to find a picture. Oh, comes right up. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to see it because I'm showing.
Dang it, Brant.
Hold on, I'm getting there. My computer's not doing what I asked it to. Okay, so here is, I'm assuming, the whole Big Cheese frame and bar pad set that was with the spikes. And I think I can just do this. Oops.
You gonna make it your background?
Can I? Can I do that? Oh my god, I can. Oh my god, I'm gonna do it. So, here's that. I don't care if this is taking a second. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
There,
Dude,
now Matt can see what I'm seeing.
that was the meanest pad set ever.
That and my buddy growing up had the frame one on his frame, and man, he's a badass. So just seeing that is like sick. So there was that one. Then you mentioned they had like a bubbly looking one,
Yeah.
which I'm not gonna lie, the bubbly looking one kind of looks a little weird.
Now that we're older.
I never saw this one, like in real life or anything. I actually never saw it until just now. Google searching it. Here you go.
Yeah.
So here's the bubbly looking one, and there's a stem pad there, and I can see, like, is this one of the ones that you would like end up messed up on your stem?
Yeah, that's the style. Yeah, how it like it makes no sense the way the Velcro is. It just,
Yeah,
I mean, back then it was fine, you know. I'm not trying to talk shit on Big Cheese.
I get it. Well, it's the style of, or the execution. There we go.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that costs a fraction. Like, if I were to get Stem Buddies mass produced, I can't even imagine the pricing because of the work that goes into it. It's really not that much, but compared to something like that,
Yeah,
you know.
it's understandable. And I mean, you can't. How much does the love that you put into it cost?
Dude, it's awesome knowing that I'm able to be a part of other people's sessions, whether I'm actually there or not. It's kind of cool.
That is actually pretty sweet. It's cool, and I mean, there's also the aspect of like, I'm sure you've saved at least one person from literally breaking their kneecap.
Not everybody likes pads. Not everybody likes the way it looks. I'm very particular about what the way my shit looks, so I get it. But then there's people that are skeptical that are like, you know what? I put that Stem Buddy on. It saved my knee this one time, and I'm never going back.
That's awesome. That's
like, yeah,
super
man.
awesome. What do you rock on your bike? What color you got?
Me?
Yeah.
I have I should do a bike check. I do the black leather on the stem,
Okay.
and right now I got the flower on the top tube, and no crossbar. I used to run the whole kit, but I decided to kind of like. Sometimes I put everything on because I'm like trying to take pictures and get like stuff to post.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I was done with that, I was like, you know what? Let me just figure out what my kit is. And I like the black leather because what I noticed is that it holds up the best for like where your stem is when you like your bars fall down, like when your bike falls.
Okay.
Your stem
Yeah.
can kind of get hit a bunch, a little bit more than like your top tube or your crossbar pad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the leather Stem Buddy is kind of like the most rugged one you can get.
I'm showing all the pictures on the site of the black leather one, so that, I mean, I'm sure that's your bike.
Yo, yeah.
So that,
Back
seeing
in the day.
exactly what you're talking about there.
Yeah. And it looks a little bit lower key.
Yeah, I could see that. Nice. And then you said the flower frame one?
Yeah.
Let me see. Top tube pad flower. There it
So I'm
is.
about to update the site, and I'm wondering if it's going to be mad confusing for people or not.
Oh, okay. What's gonna happen? Maybe I can help.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion. So right now, I have it all spread out where it's kit one. You can get the kit, or you get the stem buddy, you get the crossbar, you get the top tube,
Yep.
all separated out. But what I'm going to do as of now is set it up so you just tap on the kit,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get any one of those. You can get the whole kit, you get one or one of the others. So you don't have to go back out and poke around as much.
I think that definitely makes sense logically. It'll just probably be like a period of time where someone might have a question, like, can I get this individually? And then you gotta like be like, oh, you just click on it, and that's how.
Yeah. So there's a link thing that you see there. It says like crossbar pads, top two
Yeah.
pads. So I'm gonna make it so if you do click on one of those things, that still comes up. So it kind of nudges you in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But you're exactly right. And I spent probably 2 hours today fucking fighting the code of the website because I wanted to, like when you if you so if you go to the flower kit right now, you'll actually see how I want it to be set up. I use that as like a tester.
Select kit or individual.
Right. So now at the pricing you see there it says 20-60. It shows you like how much an individual one would be, how much a kit would be.
Right.
But when you go back out to the product list where you see them all at once, it won't show that pricing.
Right. It just says 60.
And so I took that 20-60 code and pasted it into the product list, and it wouldn't fucking work no matter what. So
You gotta love technology and coding and all that BS.
yeah, I don't know enough about PHP to really get it. So now I'm stuck with like, all right, so that's going to be the location where you can get all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
but the pricing won't show 20-60. I can show 20 or 60, but not both. Or I can show both, but it will also show both for everything. So things that don't have changes in products, it'll just say
Gotcha.
$20 to 20. And now we're just, where are we? So
Yep. So how's the gyro compatibility? That's a question that just popped up.
that's an extremely good question. And I know one person who's made it work with their gyro setup, but typically and on average, I would say it's not compatible with a gyro. I think I have to reposition the straps to successfully do it.
I see what you're talking about there. I need to go back to that black leather one because there was a lot of pictures with that one. I see exactly what you mean. Noah, here. This will help you visualize it there. So your gyro is literally going to be where the strap is at for the steer tube area.
So I think if they came straight down, kind of similar to the big cheese stem pad,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they could scoot past the gyro.
I'm wondering. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is a talk for out off the internet, just so that don't have any vultures out there. But I was just thinking, like, if there was some type of, maybe it's like a zip tie type deal or something that actually goes on the gyro, and then you got to double as a cable keeper in the gyro at the same time.
Interesting.
That's just a random thought that comes through my mind.
I will put it out there that I do make a front brake stem buddy.
Oh, actually, I saw that. I saw that when I was looking at the site the other day. I need to find it. What color is that one in?
Black. It will soon be available in all the colors, as long as I remember to update the site correctly.
Dang, that's sick. How did I see that? I don't think I clicked on it. Yeah, I have no idea how I saw that. But I knew that was a thing, and that is awesome that you're doing that. How many people do you have running that?
Maybe 2 or 3.
That's
But
sweet.
once one person asked me for it and I figured out how to do it, I just wrote down in a book how I did it. So when someone wants it again, I just can make it.
I see. That's like making a recipe, right?
Yeah, special recipe, front brake recipe.
So, apparently, and I'm going to send you this link somewhere, Poor Boy used to make gyro covers.
Yeah,
Oh, you knew about that already?
a little bit. I remember seeing them like a gyro hood, they call it maybe.
It says Poor Boy BMX gyro covers, and they're actually listed on his website still. But that might be able to be a way for you to find one. Find like a way to make it work with a gyro.
Yeah. Do you remember lizard skins?
I know that name, but that's about it. Other than like the brake cable or brake lever things, did they have those?
Yeah, I think so. Sounds about right.
What else did they do? I can't remember.
They had they made pads and they were made out of like neoprene,
Mm-hmm.
which actually did seem really nice, but like I remember the handlebar one being too wide, so I cut it down and I took the extra piece. And remember this, when people used to put I took that and put it around my FSA pig as a dust cover. I thought I was fucking cool, man.
You are cool.
Dude,
Somebody
dust
said
covers were the shit.
somebody said we need one for the nowhere bar.
Yo, so I'm not sure who reached out and asked me before, and I was like, I tried really hard to try and wrap my head around it, and like, the only way I can figure it out is the Velcro would be right where your legs would hit the the bar, so then you might not have as much padding.
What if, oh my goodness, all the ideas. So what if it was like
I
the
can make an elbow hinged pad.
That's what I was gonna say. It was a long piece. There was the bottom was the whole foam, and then the top was just two parts, so that when it comes up, they meet.
You know what? If they send me a pair of handlebars, I can make it work.
Carl,
I'll send the handlebars back. I'm not trying to, take these forevers.
I will let Carl know. I'm gonna see him in 2 or 3 days. I'll let him know,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
he'll actually. I mean, he'd probably be really stoked if that was a thing.
Yeah, I could definitely make it happen. It's just if I don't have the handlebars, it's because that's way harder than the dual top tube thing.
Yeah, I'm sure. It makes
But
sense in my head.
yeah, I think you have the right idea. Like that's how it's gonna kind of have to be done.
Yeah, and isn't the Velcro normally supposed to be on the bottom?
Yo, people free willy it out here, man. They put the shits on backwards. I don't see nothing to nobody, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that may be how it has to work if on those ones to make it
Yeah,
like look good.
I think it would mimic the foam where it'd be connected at the bottom and velcroed at the top,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa. It could be velcroed at the bottom, but then you're gonna have to apply it real tricky. It can work. It's just if there's user error or not.
I'm sure you'll figure out the best way for it to do it. And
Yeah, yeah.
I could see. I mean, I'm not going to talk for Carl, but I could see him wanting to send out like an older pair of bars or something that he's got laying around just to have that be an existing thing. And now that he's got a bike shop at his spot, like I feel like he'd probably want to stock them if they existed.
Oh hell yeah, we could do that.
All
I
right.
do like to work with bike shops. Shout out to Burks. Shout out to Meserol, um, Rays, everybody.
Yeah.
So if he wants to do that, that's definitely on possible.
I'm not going to talk for him, but I feel like he's the kind of guy who likes to support projects like what you've got going on, and he'd be stoked.
Hell yeah, I'd love to have him on my podcast too. Um, Tim Hankins suggested that I interview him. So I'm stoked
Yeah.
that you were going to talk to him.
Yeah, man, he's definitely he's got so many great stories, so much good insight, and just a great perspective.
Cool. Shout out to him.
Sippers and leather, bone death.
I do leather. I don't fuck with the zippers because that'll hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. But
um,
you're right, bone death. Yeah.
you just mentioned podcasts, different spokes. What's up with that?
Oh man, I somehow in between doing all this other shit, I bug people like yourself to talk to me and try and give back a little bit to the discussion of BMX.
Yeah, how many episodes have you done so far?
Dude, I'm almost at 60, which is
Damn.
pitiful when you realize I've been doing it for like 3 years, 4 years almost, something like that. No, 4 years, yeah, because I'm on season 4.
I don't think that's pitiful because that's like one a month almost.
Yeah, I guess so. I was thinking of like, I was comparing it to like the one every week
Yeah,
rhythm. I
yeah.
can't keep up. It's too hard.
I mean, you got a job, don't you?
Yeah.
You got a job, plus you got another job in making bar pads and stem pads and frame pads, and then on top of all that, you got to fit in recording and editing a like hour or two podcast.
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting better at it though. Ever since you helped me figure out the video stuff and then I figured out how to separate the audio.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually that most recent one I did with Lawhead had the least amount of editing so far. Where basically I just took out the bathroom breaks, changed the name in the beginning, called it a day.
That's awesome to hear. That's
Yeah.
super awesome. And that, I mean, the editing is why I do these live, so that I just don't have to touch it. It's just, oh, cool, it's live now. It's a video. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you're definitely streamlining it for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I figured that out just from like the news video I used to make that is now a live stream. Because I used to
Mhm.
sit down, watch all of the videos, type up notes for every single one. Then I would record the video from my notes, and then I would edit it all. Then I would have to export it, upload it, do all that crap. Now, I just make a list of video links, watch them all right before I go live, and then do it.
Right,
And
yeah.
it's done.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but back to this podcast thing. When did that start? Because you did audio for like a while before you did video, and now you're doing video with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started in like 2018 or 2019. Like I had recorded a couple episodes. I wasn't sure what to do with it. Wasn't sure if it was like really a good idea because I had the idea for a while. I used to. So, you remember Death Grip?
Yeah, I know the name.
So I used to sweat Death Grip so hard, and I just wanted to be that, like be a part of that, like the designer biker people.
Mm-hmm.
And when the first started, I had a blog, and I would always just like do stuff on there. And I remember writing like a blog article or whatever you want to call it about podcasts being the future of bike riding, like being something within BMX, and that was probably a good 5-6 years before I ever recorded one.
Holy crap! So like that was years before even a BMX podcast happened.
It was like as soon as Adam 22 started, I was like, I think this is gonna be it. Like I think this is gonna be it.
Okay, so it was right when the Come Up TV.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
when it was kind of like a commentary on like what was happening currently.
Yeah, and I mean that's absolutely the truth. There's not like a ton of people who have stayed consistent with them throughout the past few years, but there's been enough of them that there's a constant flow of like there's something new to listen to at least every month.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you're probably the most consistent person. I think, and that creates a baseline. So it's like, oh, now Kano Nose is out here. Like
Yeah.
that makes things really cool. And then, the Yeah Dude Sick podcast, and then what was it, Sore Losers podcast. I don't know how many other ones there is, but it's like
There's a bunch.
it's nice because it's so awesome. It makes me want to stop because I started different spokes as like I felt like there needed to be more said, and then hearing you and I think you had like 3 different people on with you, all talking.
Was that
I don't know.
recently?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was with Yeah Dude Sick and then Noah from The Scene's Not Dead.
yeah, and then just hearing you guys all talk, I'm like, people get it. We all get it. We all know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it made me like, oh, maybe I don't have to do that.
I mean, it's almost a good thing that you don't have that like I need to do this feeling, because that's kind of part of why I do some of the things I do is like if I stop or if I don't do this, who will? And if the answer
Mhm.
is no one, then it's really easy to keep doing it because like I feel almost a responsibility now at this point to like be the person who keeps this thing happening.
Yeah, and I think whether everyone's into it or not, it creates a baseline that everyone can, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of times BMX can be a bastard to itself, where
Oh
like
yeah.
people aren't very consistent, for this, that, or the other thing. So anybody being consistent in BMX, it's like a huge step.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to be consistent in just riding your bike. So
It's
then
hard to
you
be consistent in general.
that's true. Just in life. I mean, for some people it's hard to just go to work every single day and be
Hmm.
a functioning member of society. So like you take someone who's a BMX rider who is inherently already like we're outside of the box people as it is, then you say, "All right, I'm going to do this thing every 2 weeks, every month, every week," or you're a psycho like me and you're like, "I'm going to upload a YouTube video every single day." And it's super easy. Like when you say
Oh yeah.
that, that means every day. It's very easy for one day or 1 week or 1 month to come along where like it just doesn't happen. And
Hmm.
then that
Right.
turns into 2, 3, 4, and then you're done. And people are like, "What the hell happened to that?"
Oh yeah. It's do you, this might tell me if I'm going too far, but
Okay.
I was working on this ledge dressing wax stuff, and I am in over my head with how much I've spent on this,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife decided to remind me of that, and then I'm sitting down there and I'm like melting the wax, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe it was because I was like using a double boiler, I'm pouring chemicals together. It felt very methy, and
I mean, it sounds methy when you say
yeah,
it.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm basically a meth head, but I put it to positive things like sewing stuff and making wax. Like I'm just scurry away, like make some shit. Like what?
I'm Walter White, but for BMX.
I was going for Hermes, but now I'm here in the trailer park.
Oh, don't mind him. That's just Matt. He's the crazy old guy who's making wax in his trailer.
I did get a mask to wear, like a respirator, because I'm like, you know what, this is getting kind of sketchy, smelling like burnt wax. Maybe I shouldn't smell that,
Yeah, I mean, probably not consistently anyway.
especially on a product I don't even fucking make profit off
Oh
of.
my goodness. Yeah, that's not. I'm losing money to die.
Yeah, yeah, that's BMX's fucking
Well,
rule right there, right?
I guess that's true. You're putting your body and your life on the line.
Oh yeah.
That's, man, I can relate so heavy to those things. But, so back to this different spokes deal. How many have you done since that first one with video that we did?
Oh,
You,
oh shit, I could pull it up. Not that many. Probably like less than 10 since we've done the video.
I bet you have. You've done them. Actually,
Yeah,
is it on
yeah,
your
a couple.
website?
Yeah, actually, well, the different spokes URL actually just goes to the yeah site. It's just a separate page.
Dude, you are so legit with your uh, branding and your website layout. Everything is just good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Eisenberg over here. I
Like I
can.
said, obsessive compulsive.
Hey, he did it to help pay for his cancer, and you're doing it to help not pay for your cancer. So maybe it isn't the same.
Wait, what?
In Breaking Bad,
Oh, yeah, I actually have never watched it.
Oh, okay. So
I should
basically,
watch it.
so you didn't even catch the reference when I said that.
Mm-mm.
Walter White is a character in Breaking Bad who, at the beginning of this show, finds out he has cancer and is looking for a way to pay because he's just a school teacher, a science teacher.
Oh,
And then he finds his way into the meth world where he starts cooking like the best meth that's ever been made, and he's starting to make a lot of money from that, and the show is following that story, and he never does it or anything. Like, he's not consuming it, he's just making it, sell it. And then I guess he kind of just like gets obsessed with that life and all of that, and then gets in super deep because his brother-in-law is a DEA agent. So his brother-in-law is like on his case, but he doesn't know because he's this Heisenberg character.
wow.
Yeah, so it's actually a really awesome show.
So I do know that Better Call Saul is like a prequel, right?
Yeah, yeah, Better Call Saul happened
Do you like
before.
that?
I watched a couple seasons. There's so many other things that I just kind of
Hmm.
got lost, but there's a lot of people that say that Better Call Saul is like the best show on TV.
That's what my buddy Percy says too. Shout out to him. He loves that show.
Saul Goodman. I say that all the time. When someone says like, "Oh, my bad," I'm like, "Saul Goodman."
Cue the John Goodman gif on Twitter.
But yeah, definitely worth watching. And now you know why I called you Heisen or Walter White.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta check that shit out.
Yeah. So you've already said that you don't plan to go outside of bar pads, stem pads, frame pads. Do you have like anything else in the works at all between all the crazy things you got going on?
Yeah. The wax.
Well, yeah.
So it's the whole reason about that. It's similar to what you were saying. Like if I don't do it, no one else will. Like this
Mm.
stuff is formulated. It's gonna be the great poupon of ground wax. It's gonna smell extremely good. It's gonna work extremely well. It's gonna look really cool. So it's gonna look like a sauce cup, but it's gonna be molded.
Nice.
So like imagine like the sauce cup you get with like pizza or chicken wings or something when you get takeout,
Yeah.
but bigger, and it's all completely made out of wax. So you're gonna sauce up the ledge. You know what I mean? Like
That's sick.
it's a whole like play on words thing that I just love the idea of so much that I can't let go, even though it doesn't make money because I'm gonna make it for myself to use, and then I'll send you some, man. It's the I have regular, so this is yeah back to being methy. I have regular.
You got regular?
Yeah, a winter blend, which is a softer blend meant for colder temperatures, so you can still
What?
smear it on a rail or a ledge. Smells like springtime, so that way you don't get seasonal depression while you're out riding during the winter. You know how good it is to smell flowers while you're riding a flat ledge in the dead of winter? Like it's just a nice vibe.
I think you might be the only person who knows what that is like.
Probably, except for a few other people have made them for you.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So how did you even? And you don't have to go into like any specifics of materials, but like, how did you even do the research or find out how to figure out like what materials do slide better, or what you should, what makes more sense to go with, or a process?
Well, I there's kind of like common waxes you can get around like grocery stores and stuff.
Yeah.
You play around with that stuff, You got the Jesus candles, you got
Mm-hmm.
the canning wax, and it's not all the same. I got sick of hunting and finding it because I couldn't get it. Like the specific wax I get isn't always available at the grocery stores, so I went and ordered some dumb shit off of Amazon, and it was not right. It was like so soft. It was so soft, dead ass, so soft it actually made it slide slower. I
Oh wow.
completely, yeah. I I made some with it, and I think we were riding. It was like me, Ishan, a couple other people, and I was like, Ishan, is that rail actually sliding slower? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
So
So it's
yeah,
just trial and error,
absolutely, yeah.
or
Just
okay.
not everything's meant to be the same. Not every dollar store candle is going to get you where you need to go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my experience with wax is go into Goodwill and find the candles and buy a couple of them for $1. Then you
See,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say those are great. Were you gonna say smash them to get the
Yes.
wax out of them?
Yes.
That's the problem for me.
Yes. Oh,
So,
that is the problem.
so a little hint about what goes into the winter blend is some Jesus candles.
Oh.
That's part of my mixture. A little bit, little tidbit. But there's more things going on into that mixture than just that to make it smell good. Everything
Yeah,
else.
that's pretty cool, man. I hope that like once you get all of that figured out, you can find a way for it to actually pay for itself.
Oh, it's gonna be the most expensive. The way I'm looking at it is maybe I just charge what it costs,
Hmm.
and it ends up being the most expensive grind wax you can buy. But it ends up also being the best smelling and working grind wax you can buy.
I think if you advertise it that way, I mean, in the fact that it's you making it and it's like a personal thing, like, I don't know. I think people would buy
Yeah,
it.
made it in extremely small batches, but it's almost like for the sake of the joke. It's
Hmm.
like when BMX Foo had like the Foo badge up for $420, and
Hmm.
someone eventually actually bought it.
Oh, did they end up getting it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's so crazy because I would like I feel like if I listed something for like that, it'd almost be hard to be like, "Oh no, they bought it. I have to send it now."
I think they posted on their IG like when he bought it, like of it on his bike or something. I don't know when it happened though. Could have been years and years.
Oh no. Does BMX Food not have a website anymore?
No, they got to. They gotta have at
Oh,
least a
just kidding.
store.
It's not bmxfood.com though.
Oh, hey, I know we're live, but is it cool if I just run to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, I don't care.
All right, all right. I didn't know. All right.
The gray poupon of wax. Do you guys have any questions for Matt about podcast? Wow, it just looks like I'm in a different room right now. This is weird. About podcasts that he's working on, his bar pads, stem pads, anything to do with all of that called temp wax. That is interesting. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that you could even put the time in to figure something like that out. I mean, when you have a problem and you want to solve it, I guess that does make sense. That like you'd find your solution and go from there, and then make it available to other people. This is funny. Here, let's talk into his mic. Excuse me. Hello. But yeah, any questions for Matt? It's cool to hear someone. Oh, I feel like there's a lot of people who know about the yeah, but I feel like more people should know about. And just, I think it's cool. That's what I want to showcase. And the fact that he makes everything himself is pretty sick. Like, I didn't know that. I had an inkling that he might, but I definitely wanted to talk about it. It's cool. It's very, very cool. And he's back.
Motherfucking more.
Hey, when you were gone, it just looked like I was in a different room.
Oh, did you have it green screen to your side,
Well,
like
just
you're in my room?
well, that's the way I have it set up. Can you scoot towards your mic?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna go grab that sheet of paper there just to
Oh
make
yeah,
it way
do
more
it.
obvious that. Because if I just show you this will be all the colors.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, there's a dude, Kevin Jackson from New York says have his pads on all of my bikes.
Oh hell yeah! Shout out to him. So these are all the colors we're gonna
Oh,
be
that's sweet. Go more towards your mic.
me or
Yeah,
the camera.
the paper. There you go. But
Yeah.
Right there. That's perfect. That's super cool. And like that's another aspect of it that I was going to bring up that I just remembered is all of your photo work like that is legit. Like all of those positionings are all the same. It looks
Oh,
like a
thanks.
large company had somebody who's a photographer and they're doing product photography.
That's my goal, is to make it look like it's not as shitty as it is.
I mean, I don't think you could say it's even remotely shitty.
Oh, maybe not anymore. We're approaching professional status, but
Nice.
it's a little scary because it's like, because we talked before, like, you are able to make a income off of what you do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm making income off this, but it's not enough to even claim taxes on. So it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But it could get bigger. We'll see.
Hey, that's kind of part of why I want to do stuff like this. Like put you out there, people who maybe haven't heard of the Yeah yet, and could be stoked on what you're doing, and that just helps shine the light and spread the light.
Oh yeah, man.
Uh,
I'm thankful that you asked to have me on.
Hell yeah. Um, what I what I wanted to say too, and all of that is like I'm starting up my own online thing, and in doing that, I never have had the sense of like this has to be perfect for the people that it's going to before because it never had a reason to really exist. So like, is that something? I'm sure you feel that when you're making things like you have standards for yourself and for
Oh
the end.
yeah.
Where like
I'm
if
pretend. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say if it's not perfect, like or it's not up to your standards, I'm sure you're not gonna sell it.
No, man. And that's the thing. It's like you don't, especially with sewing. Like
Mm,
you think you're sewing good, you think that you're good, and then you keep sewing, and then like 100 pieces later, you look back at that one, and you're like, what the fuck? I looked like a blackout drunk when I sewed that or something.
yeah,
Because now everything's like perfect right angles. So
yeah,
I forget. I don't know if I answered your question. What was it again?
you did. I was just asking if you had this. You get the same feeling of like it has to be up to this certain standard or you can't sell it.
Yeah, when I was in college, right when I got into college was right when the iPhone came out. So like
Mm-hmm.
going to school for graphic design and branding, as that was coming out, that was the case study.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
like to me, this is my iPhone. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to come at it because that's the other catch to it all, is it's some, especially as a design student who couldn't find work out of school,
Yeah.
it was a way for me to keep working. So this is my way of like, this is what I do without a boss, and no one's gonna tell me no, like,
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, kind of shit.
Yeah, and I mean your boss is the customer who's buying that thing at the end of the
Yeah,
day, and
yeah,
like you got to make them happy. So I really felt this when I was doing the first batch of these stickers, the Lip Lord stickers. I made
yeah.
these like a few years ago, just as something to like, oh hey, I need a few extra bucks. I'll make some stickers and sell them. And then people have randomly asked here and there. I was like, I'll make them again. Well, have you cut vinyl stickers before?
I used to work in a sign shop. Yeah.
Okay, so I use my mom's Cricut for this, and
Yeah. How is it? Good.
it's awesome. But
Oh.
see, here's the problem. The vinyl that I was using came off of a big roll. And
Mm-hmm.
when you use a Cricut, you're using a flat 12 by 12. So
Mm-hmm.
the big roll of the piece of vinyl that's 12 by 12 from a roll wants to stay round. So that made it a challenge to get the transfer tape and to even
Mm-hmm.
keep it on that piece that the Cricut uses as the cutting board or whatever. So my first batch, I cut 20 something, maybe 30 something stickers and got 5 out of it because I had to
Yeah.
use a glue stick to keep it down on the thing, and I just kept it on there while I was weeding. And when you're weeding, you're not paying attention. I'm like leaning on it and
Yeah.
pushing on the glue even more. So I got it all the way weeded, and then I got the transfer tape on it. I'm like, sick, good to go. All I got to do is cut out the individual stickers. Go to take it off of this thing, and it's like, oh no, this thing's not wanting to come off here. So I'm going real slow, and then at one point, the backing of the paper ripped a little bit. And I was like, oh no. So I tried to go, and it just kept going. And dude, let me tell you how pissed off. I went into a dimension of pissed off where I just ripped it off of there, crumbled it up instantly, and threw it in the trash. I'm like, oh, I was so mad.
Dude.
And it was that sense of like, this has to be perfect. Or I can't send somebody a sticker that's got the back torn out of it and it's like looks like crap. Like, it has to literally be this perfect thing. And like, even now, I bought new transfer tape that has a grid on it, and I can't put that grid down perfectly square. So like, they're crooked. And I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. Whoever's putting this on is like, they can't use the grid to put it on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well. And I already bought it. I got 50 feet of this stuff. Like, what am I gonna do? But you know that feeling. So it's, whew.
There's a lot you could do there. I used to do the same exact shit at the sign shop. I used to wrap cars and shit like that too.
It has to be stressful.
Oh yeah, we used to do a lot of stuff. Was just like DOT numbers and like businesses on the side,
that's easy, yeah.
Shit. But that my coworker would always fuck up a door. It was like, I could guarantee it. Like, he's going to the car. Watch this, he's gonna print another one. And then, like, so I'll wait to see him come back and print another one. You fucked up.
Okay, so you wrap cars, and I've always wondered, like, is there like a secret or a trick that people are doing to like get the roundness and not, do you like, when you're wrapping car, do you not necessarily care as much about air bubbles or what?
No, it's special vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's more than one kind, and there's a couple different brands. They all do the same thing where it's called air egress.
Okay.
So I actually, the last round of stickers I got air egress, because I was like, one of my favorite parts about stickers and bikes is when you would see people that did like this cool sticker collage where it's like it's going over the welds and it's all like
yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna use air egress so that way people can do that.
Oh yeah.
But it's sometimes tricky. So like, it almost doesn't even feel sticky at first until you mush down everything.
Oh.
So it kind of allows you to get into position before you kind of really mush it in.
That makes sense, because that was also the problem I had with my sticker thing, and there was a couple times where the one time, oh my god, this is why, it was 30 stickers and I only got 5, because one sheet of them stuck to the thing, and then the other sheet I went to put the transfer stuff down, and because it was curved, it hit before I wanted it to, and there's no picking that back up once half of it sticks. But anyways, that makes sense with the car wrapping stuff. What made me curious about that was when I painted my helmet and I put the Park Tool sticker on the back where it's completely like round. It took so long, and I had to use a heat gun to get it to lay perfectly flat so I could paint and not have any like weird stuff happen.
Yeah, you got heat guns, man. They're a godsend. And like that air egress film is actually meant to stretch a lot more.
Yeah.
So sometimes you see people on Instagram do crazy like TikTok shit where they'll heat it up real good and just fucking wrap a helmet real quick.
Oh.
Which, you did it, but
you're gonna take it off when you're done.
Well, like how much stress is under that vinyl. Not to go long-winded about it, but like, so like once now you wrapped your bike helmet with this vinyl because you made it real hot and you just dipped it in.
Mm-hmm.
You have to trim it.
Yeah.
Where you trim those edges, it has to be really secured. If not, it remembers where it was, and since you stretched it so crazy, it'll just peel up.
Right.
And that happened to me because I tried to wrap an Apple mouse, and I thought it would be cool because I had like a white Apple Magic Mouse, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna wrap it black so it looks like the new one that just came out. Well, I couldn't just have the flat surface. I had to wrap around the edge, and because I did that, too much, put too much pressure on it. It peeled off like 6 months later.
Hey, 6 months ain't bad.
If
Just saying, that's not too
your
bad.
car comes up in 6 months, you better go after that guy.
Well, yeah, but your Apple mouse, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Taco Slurpees asks, dude, can you make a Buff Doge pad set? Buff Doge, like the Shiba Inu. Here, I'll just make it my background on here so you can see what I'm talking about.
Like a colored theme, or like
It's a
really
character.
little graphic. So like, I don't do anything printed, super printed on the pads just yet.
Do you recognize what that is yet?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
dog.
we could do a patch and then sew the patch on the pad. That would be the easiest.
Yeah, so if you are interested in that, hit him up and he'll be able to give you more info so you could find out if you want to do it.
Hey man, I'll draw on a pad if you really want me to. I can do a paint marker joint if you.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that's what you could almost do that with the patch. You could make the outline of the patch and then draw in the shading a little bit.
Yeah, because the fabric I use is not very receptive to paint markers.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
thought that would be really cool if I could just draw all over these things, but it doesn't work.
Oh, that sucks.
But you are onto something with the patch thing.
And then because you don't have to use the same fabric. You could use something else because
That works.
the good fabric is underneath it.
Yeah.
Then somebody else said I would so rock a pad set that said skate or die, and then said skate or die would be in the same font as the NES game. Once again, I'm sure you're willing to just hear ideas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hit them up.
I got one pad. Maybe I can bust out here for you. That's kind of crazy.
I'm into crazy. That sounds bad.
No, it's not super gnarly. It's just reflective. I thought I had
Oh,
it.
okay. And when you
Yeah.
walked away, I said, I'm into crazy. I said, that sounds bad.
No, I have oh man. I know I got it. I saw it in the bag today. We're live.
It's okay.
Oh, you-
There's no rush right now. This is part of the experience.
I have it somewhere.
It just looks like I'm green screening in front of some random dude's sewing room that he's walking around confused. Like, what is happening?
Well, this is me 90% of the day. Like, where the fuck did I put that thing?
Hey, I think that's a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially mechanics who are looking for their 10 mil.
Here we go. Okay. So this one, some people would call it oil slick, but some people have an aversion to the word oil slick.
Did
so
I
call
not
it-
see that on the site?
Yeah, this is Midnight Hologram.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll pull that up too.
So when you shine a light on it, it gets gnarly.
Ooh, I got the pictures. Nice. Yeah. I got the pictures on the site that I can pull up once you show what you got there.
Oh, that was it. Like, I liked, this was just one of the ones that I liked because it was black at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sweet.
And then when the light hits it, it's really vibrant, but the whole thing is reflective, so it looks like, what I like about it is that it looks like satin black during the day.
Oh, okay.
So you're not so loud, but at the same time you're also being safe.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's an element of like, oh, cool, you're making people even more safe if they're riding at night.
And I even dropped them at fall time for back to school because I thought that it would all just...
Man, you are a mad scientist or mad seamster.
Mad scientist works, man. there's so much work that goes into it, and you're like, does anyone even know? Does anyone fucking see this?
I think that there's definitely people who see it and, like, appreciate what they're looking at.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think you shining a light on it's definitely gonna, if you want to shine a light on it, that means some people will know about it.
Well, dude, I mean, the reason I wanted to do that because I saw them at Ray's and I just assumed that this was like a big company. Because you look at the case that they have them in. I don't know if you've seen pictures or anything,
Oh
but
yeah.
but like the case is just completely full of your stuff, and it's so professionally packaged, and everything looks great. Like and then you see them on people's bikes, and they look like they're done like in a factory by somebody who's doing them perfect. Like it just looks like it's done by a machine.
Well, that shout out to Paul Rad. That was all on him. He works at Ray's, and he reached out and said he's carried shirts before, in the past. But he was like, yeah, let's get some pads in there. I said, sure. What do you want? And he told me. I was like, holy shit! All right. I'll get my ass to the grindstone and get it done.
Yeah, and I mean, I realized too in going through the site that it goes back even further than I thought with the fucks with it that you got on there. Like,
Yeah.
I know I've seen those like before Ray's even sold the pads. I saw those at Ray's and people having them.
The stickers.
The stickers too.
Those stickers, I don't know why some people just. I mean, I gotta restock them. Those stickers just go for some reason. People love it.
Yeah, I can see why.
Curse words.
Yeah. Pocket stem buddy? What's pocket stem buddy?
Just in case you need to move a gram, Brant.
Oh, see, listen.
I'm just kidding.
I'm innocent. I'm an innocent. I'm the what's the word I'm looking for? The pure child that you all knew in like middle school who was like, oh, I would never.
Well, see, I used to do pocket everything, pocket, top tube, crossbar, and stem. Because Conway suggested it. Because
Gotcha.
he'll put a whole tire patch kit and then a whole sticker pack in his top tube, and so that way when he goes out riding street, if he meets a homie he wants to give a sticker to, he can dial it out.
Yeah.
And then if he wants to fix a flat, he can. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll make these. But they suck so much dick to make that I stopped making them, except for the stem buddy, because I like the stem version because it's easy to make, and also because you could put cash in there.
Yeah, that's what the picture had in it.
Yeah.
Right there.
So if you needed, like, you could put a cool $50 bill in there as like a just in case, in case you ever get stranded or some shit.
Or so that one day when you find it again, you're like, sick, $50.
New bike part time.
Yeah. I know you don't like sewing, but I mean, looking at this pocket stem buddy makes me feel like there should be the wallet.
So I thought about that, and it's just so many other people already make stuff and they already make it so cheaply.
Wallets, though?
Yeah, like so many people make them.
In BMX?
No, just in general, I guess.
I feel like a BMX wallet. See, that's the thing about like t-shirts and stuff like that I never considered is like everybody, and when you talk about wallets, most dudes need a wallet, but everybody wears t-shirts. So it's like when it comes to BMX and someone who rides, would you rather wear just a random shirt from, whatever local store that you go and shop at because you need to have clothes? Or would you rather, oh, cool, I like this dude or this company, I'll wear this. So I think of it the same way when it comes to like a wallet. If I ride BMX and I need a wallet, I'm going to be searching for a BMX wallet first. Yeah. And somebody just shouted this out, so I'm just going to grab it real quick here, as I like to do. The Little Devil chain wallet.
Yeah, that was the first wallet that, as soon as you said that, that was the one that came to my mind.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I would trade this one. This is an OG one too, not one of the new ones that they make again. I would trade that for one of the Velcro ones.
Yeah, Velcro's a little bit thinner.
I just
I
would.
use the magnet thing that clips to your phone now. That's what I
Are
use.
you comfortable with that though?
Why not?
It doesn't fall off?
Nah, man, it's solid.
I'm scared of that. I just got this case. This has that in it, and I'm like,
Your case has the magnet in it.
yeah.
Yeah, then you'll be good because what I noticed is that like with just the glass, it's so slick that it's easy for the wallet to pop. What I've on the opposite end of the spectrum with this on, say I have my wallet magnetized to it and I go to the store and I'm
Yeah.
at the grocery store waiting to pay and I'm trying to get the wallet like unclipped from the back of my phone. I'm sitting there struggling.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's the leather's grippy a little bit, but
Yeah, we'll see.
they
I
only
ha-
hold 3 cards though, so you kind of have to
yeah,
hedge
I
your
have
bets
like
a little bit.
5 or 6 in my Ridge wallet, the thingy that I got.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. The only reason I have it is because Ridge wanted to sponsor a video at one point in time. Or I'd still, and actually, it's not the only reason. There it is. I would still be using this one.
Oh shit!
If
Wow.
That's why I want the Little Devil Velcro one, because I've had this thing since I was in high school when I got, or not even high school. That was like my first wallet that I carried around in pocket.
Do you ride with shit in your pockets at all?
No, nothing.
What about wallet? Even not even a wallet in your pocket?
I mean, I don't want to tell people where I put my wallet when I'm riding.
Right. Yeah, I'm just.
It's not in my pocket. It's in my car. There, I'll say it's in my car, or I leave it at home. It's right beside my gun.
I've gotten like bruises before falling on wallets and shit. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I won't keep my keys on my band or my waistband. I will not keep my phone in my pocket for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And wallet, I won't keep in my pocket just because it's dumb to fall on something that you, one, could break, two, could hurt you.
Yeah. What's the gnarliest injury you've ever had?
Oh, geez, I feel like I'm so lucky that I like don't even like to talk about it. But
We don't have to then. We don't have to. Fuck
well, I mean, last year 2 years ago at this point, was it? It was 2 years ago at this point. I got knocked out at the trails and
it. Mhm.
had a super gnarly concussion, and apparently I was knocked out for like minutes. But that's what it sounded like, I think. But yeah, that's I mean, other than rolled ankles and random stuff like that.
You still got them good knees. Still got them good hips. You know
Dude,
what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. Sometimes
Good ankles.
like my knee has been feeling like a little tender lately. I think it's because I haven't been able to ride as much as I normally do. But dude, I'm convinced I have like double joint or some crap like that.
Yo, I just made my first appointment today to go get like a primary care physician, which I've never had in my whole life.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start. So another thing I wanted to do with different spokes was document my health progress, kind of.
Okay.
Because it's like part of like the stipulation to doing a podcast is you're like, who wants to listen to me? What do I have to say?
Mhm.
And the other part of me is like, I've been riding since '99. There's plenty I can say, whether or not anyone wants to listen.
Mhm.
And one of those things is this, that, and the other thing feel really fucked up. Let's see how we can get them sorted. I also will try and ride and get clips when I can. I'm not doing anything gnarly, but we'll see.
Yeah. Do you mean when you say this, that, and the other thing, like on yourself, and that's why
Yeah.
you're getting a doctor? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you meant like within BMX or you meant yourself. I was like, either could make sense.
Dude, when I was in my early 20s, I slipped in the shower. My feet were sliding apart. Did I tell you this before?
No.
My feet were sliding apart, like too soapy. And I went to go like I was gonna fall. So
Yeah.
I quick like tried to pull them back together. And I felt a pain up my hip that felt like I was paralyzed for like a half second.
Whoa.
And then for that half second, my brain was like, dude, you fucked us. This is it for now. Like, this side's not working no more. We're done. And it came back. But ever since then, I have hip pains, and I have like a cyst in my hip now, and all this other shit. So it's like,
That's scary.
very. And that happened in my 20s. I'm 36. Like, I've
You're
ignored it too long.
36?
Yeah.
Bro, you look like you're 25.
Yeah, it's not a good thing necessarily, I don't think. I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know. I need some salt and pepper, and I'll be straight. You know.
Okay, I think you're the first person I've ever heard who's like, I want to look older than I do.
I'm sure with enough stress it'll come.
That's funny. Well, I think it'll be cool to document like a health journey, and I think if BMX and people see it, they could benefit from it.
I remember reading an article about Tony Nair in one of the print magazines talking about how he got his knee surgery done without having health insurance. I forget exactly how he did it, but you know, people share stories. It helps you get a little bit inspired.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, there've been a lot of things that I have done for the same reasons. Like when I first worked with like the CBD company that I did, it was because I wanted the people who watch to like learn about CBD and be able to benefit from it.
Yeah, that shit works. You get
Dude.
the tincture, that'll knock your ass out.
Actually, you know what? On my knee that's been tender lately, I didn't even think to put this stuff on it till just now.
So how does that work? Do you have to approach people, or do they come to you? Do you have to be like, hey, I got this many subscribers, let's work on something?
I mean, I'm sure that there's people who do that and that it could work that way.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like a lot of stuff, my brain doesn't think of the ideas until it's presented to me. So like with the CBD thing, they sent out an email to I think like a ton of different people, and I just happened to see it like real quick, and I got on it super fast. And so like it was only a few months, but like I got paid for a few months, and they sponsored our trail jam and sent me money to give away to people, and literally like $1,000 in product to give away.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times it's like random stuff in my email, and most of the time it's like annoying stuff, like and it's not like a individual person who's doing it. It's like, oh, I'm this company, we sell bike lights and bike seats on Amazon, we would like you to try out our thing, and we will send you free product for a video. We would like a video on YouTube about our thing. And I'm like, bitch, like, you don't even make this. This is a rebranded, like, blank product that you put a logo on and claim to have a company. Like,
Yeah.
that is not, I don't even respond to those ones.
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes I follow a bunch of random. I'm on YouTube all the time watching shit, and I follow some of the stupidest shit, but it's like because it's consistent or because the person is cool. But then some of the people, I'm like, I can't believe you got an ad for every single video you got. Like they're just so crazy.
Well, I think once you get to a certain threshold, it's possible to do that, and I probably should try to take advantage of that more.
What are you at now?
46 something.
1,000?
Yeah,
100,000. 46,000 people.
I think so.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, 46,623.
That's a lot of people. How many people are watching right now?
16.
Wow! Shout out to all you guys. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's cool, and more people will see the replay. But I think once you get to a certain threshold, you have people reach out even more, and it gets even crazier. It's like proving your legitimacy, really. Like
My most viewed video on Different Spokes is an iPhone related thing.
mine was too for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, That's funny. What's it about?
Death lens camera hack.
You know what's
So like
cool?
the camera that I'm using right now is an iPhone 8,
Yep.
and I took two different cases. Oh, so basically I took, the death lens that they make for phones.
Yeah.
So I took the part that it threads into. And, it's supposed to be a whole case, but the case isn't very protective.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut off the threads, like I cut the corner off, and then I glued it into a regular case.
That makes sense.
So then I had like a case that was actually drop proof, but also I could screw this lens onto. And
Yeah.
that's the view.
Because that Death Lens case sucked, and
Yeah.
that's why I never wanted to use it, because I was like, this case sucks, and I'm not gonna put it on there.
Yeah, wow, some good thunder. Before I had this phone, I was using my girlfriend's phone, and the first day she let me use it with the death lens, I shattered the screen
Oh,
because
no.
of that exact reason. And I was like, I hit him up and I was like, yo, this is fucking bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
you gonna try and pretend this is ready for some like grimy skaters to use in the cut when come on.
And your Death Lens.
So I started like I tried to reel back a little bit because I felt like I railed on them too hard in that video. I didn't want it to be like I hate this company, because I ended up getting a way better film handle from them
Oh, okay.
later on. And I was like, they probably just put like, how hard it is to probably have like a decent lens for every new iPhone that comes out. The case was probably the afterthought. That's my guess.
I don't know, man. When it comes to those lenses, I feel like you make the lens, and then up till about the iPhone 8, it just goes. It could fit any of those cameras.
Yeah, right.
And then, like what you're saying, like, put this out there like it's ready for some BMX riding, skating, whatever people. Like, you put out this, you literally picked the thinnest case you could possibly pick, which I understand why, because it needs to be close to the actual phone lens.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Now in retrospect though, I'm thinking I wouldn't even cut the case apart. I would just buy a silicone case and try and stretch it around it, or maybe
Yeah.
cut it and glue it. So yeah, there's possibilities.
My video that's still, there's actually two of them that were in the highest viewed videos that I made, was app tutorials on Splice, the video editing app.
Yeah.
That was it.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, that's I mean, even to this day, actually, I don't think it'll still show up because of some of the other videos that are in the top, but even to this day, the one gets like 100 views or 50 views a day.
Wow. I'm lucky if I get 50 views a month.
Well, I upload every single day, and whether anyone wants to admit it or not, YouTube is a consistency algorithm, aka monster, that you have to feed for it to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lucky enough, I ride and enjoy filming, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, man, you're riding all the time. I really enjoyed the little iPhone comparison video.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Thanks. Seemed like YouTube didn't even freaking share it.
Maybe because I was watching a bunch of other stuff about the phone already. I'm probably right in the Venn diagram of the market of people who probably want to watch it.
Well, thanks. That was a lot of work.
I was curious about that. I was like, yo, I think you kind of went in on this.
Dude, it was a whole day of filming, and then I went home, waited a couple hours till dark, went back, had a whole nother session. Yeah, it sucked. And then to have YouTube not share it at all, I was like, dude, I don't care about the numbers, but I wouldn't have put this much work in this fast to get it done today if I knew that it was just gonna be a normal video.
So how do you gauge that?
Well, I mean,
what makes it seem like, oh, this isn't taking off like I wanted it to?
well, I basically, perfect example. I'll refresh my stuff right now. The video that went up today has 100 views so far. The video of the test went up yesterday has 250. So a normal video in that time could, like, if it's a good riding video and something cool is going on or whatever, it could have 400 views in a day.
Mm-hmm.
It could have 500 in a day. So like, it's already seems like YouTube's not even sending it to the people who subscribe to my channel. And when I make something like that, I'm making it for the search aspect of it. Like, somebody's searching iPhone 14 versus iPhone 12. Do I want to upgrade? Whatever. And you can, there's different plugins for Chrome that will show you like how your tags rank in search. And I could just see that none of them, it's like basically just feels like YouTube didn't even promote the video at all to anyone.
Wow. What about making a short version of it?
I actually did that with the low light.
Nice.
I made a low light 1 minute, not even a minute, and I posted that, and it was like the same deal. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's so tricky how all that shit works.
Especially because I had one between my iPhone 8 and my iPhone 12 when I got the 12.
Mm-hmm.
And it got like 25,000 views in a week or two.
Wow.
You should have put a premiere on it. Maybe I'll re-upload it and premiere it.
So you see, I did that once and it worked the opposite for me. I like uploaded a video as a premiere, and then I didn't know it was still premiering for like hours. And I was like, oh shit, I guess I gotta like publish it now or whatever. So then it didn't count any views for that whole time it was premiering.
It's all, YouTube's annoying sometimes. And like, as much as I really don't care that much about numbers, when you put that much work into something, because I'm like, okay, this is relevant right now, and like, people need this, people want to see this to know if they should get a new phone, and if I make it, they'll have something. And then like, oh, YouTube's not even gonna take my tags and search terms. And
well, do you think it'll creep up eventually? As you know, I mean, this shit just came out last Friday.
We'll see. It could, and that's the other aspect of it. The last video I made didn't come out till the middle of November, and I'm pretty sure the phone, I think, here, let me just type this in. The release date. So the release date, oh, actually, no. It was November 13th, but you could pre-order it okay. What the hell's going on here? Alright, so that was a totally different situation, I guess. But it was announced a month before my video came out, and then people could get it, I think. Couldn't get it until the beginning of November. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will still have older phones too.
That's the thing, dude. I did that comparison and I was editing, and I was like, I have to zoom in like 200% to really see a difference, or you have to pause it to see a difference. Like,
I appreciate that you did that with specifically the trail footage.
mm-hmm.
Like, that was a nice touch.
Well, that's just something that, like, for me, for example, it would make me want to buy the new phone, because you saw the 12, it was blurry when it was paused. Mm-hmm. And when I'm making a video, I use clips from the video and a still to make the thumbnail. So, like, if it's sharp like that at all times, I'm able to have more thumbnail options.
Yep.
So there's just those things. So, like, yeah.
It puts it into a really good real-world perspective for fellow bike riders who are interested, you know?
Yeah, and that's the ultimate point. And then I was hoping that, like, other people, normies, would end up seeing it. The other thing too, I mean, just to put it all out there for anyone who might actually be interested, because I didn't put a conclusion in that video, the ultra wide on this thing too is way better in low light than the 12.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like in there. Something else that I saw said that too.
Yeah, it's way better. And so like, if you're just a normal person or you don't really care about quality, then yeah, maybe not worth it. But all those little things for me make it worth it, I think.
Yeah, and then you got the action thing where it's kind of steady.
That's not worth it.
No.
No, it's good enough without it.
Right.
But maybe, I mean, maybe if you're chasing somebody, it'd be worth turning it on, like you're running.
Yeah, I guess.
Like how often?
It really doesn't take that much, yeah.
Well, for us, we're riding a bike.
Yes.
We're on air already. And you're standing usually.
So you really got no excuse to shake the camera, but some homies still find a way to shake the camera.
My buddy Sponge he's like that, man. I remember when we were first filming videos, he bought a camera to film with, and man, I don't know what it is, but for some reason his stuff had some shake to it. It's funny. Now, I mean, it's not bad because our phone's got stabilization in them.
Yeah, I have the regular 12. I don't think it has that much stabilization.
The main camera does.
It does. Wow.
Yeah, the wide, ultra wide, the fisheye on these has no stabilization in it at all.
Yeah, I got the regular 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
the main camera on yours has
It still has it.
stabilization, and then the ultra wide on all of them doesn't have anything.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Tech,
Are you
man.
gonna try and use the thing where you clip it to the front of the laptop and you can do like desk view, or you...
I forgot that was a thing. Probably not.
like when you're messing with the hub or something?
But well, maybe. Because,
I mean, you can always just set up a tripod. It's not that big of a deal.
well, that's the thing. I use my bike stand with my tripod in it to have my phone as a top-down camera.
Yeah, no AI involved.
Yeah, and I mean, it probably take longer to set it up that way, but whatever.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, man, this is not about me though. This is your podcast.
Shit. Oh, I did want to shout out to Ryan Howard and the Us Them dudes. He had reached out to me and I made him a pad set, and then Devin Denham screen printed on it for him. So he did a whole like vintage, new school, old school hybrid bike.
Yeah.
Where it looked like an old school Holmes, but really it was a newer bike. And he did the pad set with, the stem buddy and everything. And I think he's switched it up since then, but it was pretty cool to see that and all the clips that he got with it.
Yeah, that's super rad. I mean, just when people take their bike and their different things like that into their own hands and really customize them is so sick.
Yeah.
Every
There's
time.
so many opportunities. There's so many possibilities.
Right? I never, to be totally honest, I never did anything like that until I painted the hubs that I painted.
Oh, yeah. I sent that video to my wife. I was like, this could be us, but you playing.
That's funny. Until then, I have a whole new sense of like appreciation and like pride for the people who put that much effort into like a lot of different stuff on their bike.
Remember back in the day when like people's bike checks had like a lot of mods to them,
Yeah, I mean, that's why I do some of the bike checks I do, and I make people talk about the things they do, because there's not a lot of that these days. It's just stock parts off the shelf that rider for whatever company is like, yeah, I don't know the geometry. They just send it to me.
Oh, to be that good that it doesn't matter.
All right. That thing though with the Ryan Howard thing, have you ever
Mm.
thought about trying screen printing with your stuff?
Yeah, I have. I've done it. Uh, I also don't really love screen printing, to be
Uh.
honest. But I do it because I've printed shirts
Mm-hmm.
because you know it's easier for me to pop out six in any given evening than it is to call somebody up. Hey, here's a design. I really sure hope you don't mess up the sizes. Don't mess up my shit.
Yeah.
So I screen print on fabric, the pad set fabric, but not as much
Gotcha.
because remember I was saying back before like it sucks so much to cut this stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
So when you screen print fabric that's not very soft like your shirt, there's no give there.
Okay.
Maybe I could put a t-shirt. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I could. So basically, you kind of need a little bit of meat there, so that way when you screen print, it gives you a nice crisp line. Otherwise, the texture of the fabric,
Yeah.
the ink kind of wants to sprawl out.
Oh, I see.
I have, I swear to, yeah. So Conway wanted a death metal print top tube pad.
Okay.
So I screen printed two, and I
Uh,
gave him the best one. And this one, you can see like the edges are a little bit.
I don't think that looks that bad though.
I guess not, but you know what I mean, though. Like
I totally
compared to like a
understand.
professional bike company or a professional anything, it's like, oh, it's a little bit, a little DIY, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I wondered about that because I saw that like apparently you can get screens off of like those different websites like Fiverr or whatever. You can have people make you a screen for pretty cheap.
That's crazy. I didn't know you could do that. What I did is I bought screens online and then went to my local screen printer back when I lived in PA.
Yeah.
I would just say, hey, these are the designs I want, put them all on the screen. No, I'm not doing a normal screen printing setup. Don't fucking worry about it. Just put
Mm.
these graphics in here. I'm going to tape them off and print them and do all sorts of dumb shit.
Yeah. That works too though.
It does. It's a little bit backbreaking, but yeah, I've printed shirts, top two pads, but I don't print anything too crazy. It's just one color
Yeah.
because it's hard. And if you cut everything out, so you got all your fabric, you cut it all out, then you go to screen print it, and then it doesn't print right, and you're looking at that freshly cut piece that's got bullshit on it that's no good. You're like, it just felt so wasteful that I don't do it that often.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd almost have to like engineer it to be the kind of thing that like it doesn't have to be a perfect thing like it's a pattern or something random, not letters.
We're like you see those people with the heat presses where
Mm-hmm.
they just put the fabric in and then it's like kind of like a Cricut cut vinyl
Yep.
or something. That's the other option here as well, instead of a sloppy screen print.
At the same time though, with my experience with that, because I made a lot of shirts using that and actually
Mm.
sold shirts with that, and I stopped doing it because a couple of mine had the heat transfer vinyl start to peel up, and I
Uh,
don't like that. And if you're doing it on a bike, maybe
yeah,
it won't matter as much to people because yeah, a bike is gonna get destroyed anyways. So as long as it lasts long enough. But at the same time, it's like, yeah,
right. You want it to be stuck on there.
right. And if you do it right, I'm sure it is. But a couple of the times that I did it, it peeled up, and I was like, man, I can't have somebody be like, yo, it's been a month and this thing is falling off of this shirt. What the hell?
Yeah, it's the last thing you would want to hear about. Like, it should be understood that a graphic stays on a shirt.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why, like the shirts, I just picked up shirts yesterday that I had screen printed, and that's why I would not do it myself. Just
Mm-hmm.
let somebody who does it for a living do it.
especially once you have a little bit of money to pay to not have to deal with certain things. Like the more I get methy and do all this shit, the more I'm like, if I could just so like my wife saw this sling bag and she's like, "Can you make me one of those?" Because her
Mm-hmm.
friend had it, and her friend's like, "They were $40." I was like, "No, we're gonna go spend the $45
Yeah.
because the amount of time it would take me to figure it out first of all,
Yep.
and then to come up with a good one, it's not worth it." So it comes back to the thing of like, if I'm gonna spend any time actually figuring out how to sew anything, I'm probably gonna turn it into something I can sell.
That makes sense.
But like I used to sell, so for wintertime I try to do seasonal shit with the yeah. Even before I did pads, I would do like sweatshirts, but I would customize the sweatshirt so not each one was different. Like sometimes I would line the inside of the hood with a print or
Mm-hmm.
fur or something, and I decided to do pockets. Oh god, that was awful. I screen printed on the fabric, right? So it didn't matter where I screen printed because I had one big honking sheet. And
Yeah.
then had my pocket stencil where I traced it and then cut them all out, had them all nice and centered. So then you have to fold, similar to this, where
Yeah.
like you have to fold the corners in and then sew everything, except it's not this stiff, starchy fabric. It's a nice, soft
Mm-hmm.
shirt. So when you're trying to sew this, so I had so many needles holding the whole pocket in, and I had already signed myself up to do at least 12 of these things. And I was like, fuck
You get
this.
one done, you're like, oh my god, there's 11 more.
Yep. And that's when you kind of like, you kind of have to go out there to see where you don't want to go.
That's very true, just in life, you know?
Yeah.
Gotta try things and figure out what you like and you don't like. There's definitely like way too much of like, oh, I don't want to even try this, but I'm gonna hate on it, or oh, I don't get to experience this cool thing in life because I didn't want to try it.
Yeah. Big time. I'm always trying to convince my friends to try shit. Stuff
That's
that I know that if it was presented to them normally, they'd be like, "Fuck that, get that out of here." I'm like, "No."
listen, man. It's starting to sound more and more like you're making meth.
One try, one slice, and you'll be hooked.
Listen, man, I made it in my basement. Just try
Come
and
on, man.
I need it.
Oh yeah.
That's funny as hell.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
man.
Well, Matt, we've been going for 2 hours.
Right on, man.
I think we've covered the different spokes and a lot of what you got going on. Is there anything that we think we might have missed at all?
I don't think so. Shout out to everybody that's supported along the way. That bought DVDs when that was the thing that we had. Actually, Fucks With It was never even sold. It was given out. So shout out to everybody that's supported from the get go and supported through its transformation. And thank you for having me on. And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Where can people find all the different things that you got going on?
THEYEA.com.
All of it's there.
Yeah, at the very bottom of that, there will be a different spokes link if you want to check that shit out. You can go right to it. And probably within the next 24 or 48 hours, I'm going to be releasing the new theme to the website with the updated products and all that jazz. The more I think about that product thing, the more it frustrates me. But we'll see. The pricing will be a little bit weird. We'll see what everybody says. But
It'll work out.
we'll see. Yeah, because the other thing is like during quarantine, a big cartel was like, "We'll give you your premium plan for the same price,"
Mm-hmm.
and that lasted all the way up until like a couple months ago. So right now I'm paying like $20 a month to have the site up.
Gotcha.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, that used to be $10 a month. So I had to dial all the products back down under 50, and right now I'm sitting at like
Oh,
100 and some. So I kind of have to figure it
I see.
kind of like completely changing the whole site just to save $10 a month. But
Check into Shopify. I just got a whole year for $180.
I See, if I do it at the $10, it'd be 120.
Yeah, well,
But like Shopify, I like Shopify, I really do. But how many? How is it? Is that just a promotional like rate?
yeah. It was when I signed up. That's what I got for the first year.
Because like I looked into it before because I really like the themes because I think Big Cartel is shit when it comes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Shopify does look sick, but I don't. I still don't think I move enough
Yeah, it's understandable.
to warranty it just yet. Sooner or later, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thanks for doing this, and I'm sure we'll end up talking to each other on the internet like this again one day.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you. And yeah, if you ever have anything you want to talk about mine, come right on.